Hello everybody, it's Alison from Engli-teach.com. Welcome back to another wonderful English lesson. Today you're going to be looking at some verbs and how you use them in sentences specifically related to production and or engineering. This is a request I've had from lots of our followers that have said, I work in engineering or I work in production. Can you help me out with some vocabulary and grammar tenses? So here you are. So the words that we're going to be looking at today are on the top of the screen, and they're also here as well, because I know some of you just love the whiteboard. So we have switch, switch, produce, not produce, produce, scratch, visit, overload, deliver, increase, and reduce. Okay, switch, produce, scratch, visit, overload, deliver, increase, and reduce. Now, your task, if you like, is to decide whether we use these with to plus the infinitive, which is up here just along the top, or do we use it as a verb and add the gerund ing onto the end. So I'm now going to put some sentences up, or one sentence at a time, and you can decide with me which one it should be. Let's go. So your first sentence with a little space here for you to complete with one of these words along the top, and don't forget we're using the choice of to plus the infinitive or the verb plus the ing. It's one or the other. So, installing another machine could risk the electricity supply. Installing another machine could risk the electricity supply. If you think you know it, let me know in the comments. I'm going to be looking. And don't forget, we're going to choose it from produce, scratch, visit, overload, deliver, increase, reduce, or switch. Okay, installing another machine could risk, and it's overloading. So we're using the ing. Overloading. Installing another machine could risk overloading. And when you see it in its complete sentence, doesn't it just look wonderful? Installing another machine could risk overloading the electricity supply. And that ing is said very softly, not overload, overloading the electricity supply even. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, great. Here is our second question. Tell him to off the power supply. Tell him to off the power supply. Don't forget, you can choose one of these words but not overload because it's already taken. Tell him to switch off the power supply. Tell him to switch off the power supply. And there it is in its prime perfection. Tell him to switch off the power supply. Excellent. All right, our third question. We expect production by 15%. We expect production by 15%. If you know it, let me know. Drop it into the comments. I'm always eager to see. Don't forget, we're choosing from one of these. So now your choice is produce, scratch, visit, deliver, increase, or reduce. We expect to, it could be to increase or reduce. It could be either one of them. So obviously increase is to make bigger, so plus, over here. And reduce is obviously to diminish, to make lower, to reduce. So I'm going to go with we expect to increase production by 15%. To increase production by 15%. Okay, so for this one, I've obviously put increase and reduce, so it's one or the other, not both, depending on the scenario, depending on the use. For example, if a company or a business wanted to increase their production, it would obviously be make more of something. We would obviously use increase. But let's say maybe they had to reduce or stop producing a certain amount of something, an item, then you would use we expect to reduce production. So it can be either or, either one of those, okay, depending on the scenario. Okay, let's move on. So our fourth sentence, we'll finish that model in November. We'll finish that model in November. Which one do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments. We'll finish producing. So what we will do is obviously we will take off the E and we will add ing. So the word will be producing. Okay, producing. That's a plus here. That's a plus, not a T. Okay, we'll finish producing that model in November. Okay, we'll finish producing that model, just here, that model. Turn my pen up that way, actually, you'll see it better. We'll finish producing that model in November. A very useful phrase. Let's move on. Okay, the suppliers have agreed the amount of packaging. The suppliers have agreed the amount of packaging. And if I just move this down here a little bit, you can see the choice. And obviously, don't forget, you've got them at the top. And don't forget, the choice is using to plus the infinitive or the verb plus the ing. Now, these are really good sentences to help you practice getting the right grammar and also reflecting on the word order in sentences so that you're properly reminding yourself and learning how to construct a proper sentence, putting the verb in the right place and the noun and so forth. So the suppliers have agreed, and it's going to be this one down here, which you can't see very well. The suppliers have agreed to reduce, so to diminish, to make less of. The suppliers have agreed to reduce the amount of packaging. This is a big issue at the moment, definitely in the UK and in Europe. But I think in the UK we are very bad. I hate it going shopping. There's so much packaging on everything. And in my country, they charge you a lot of money to get rid of the packaging. And I think, well, I don't want my food in all this packaging anyway. So it's a little bit of a touchy subject, as we say in English. Okay, on to our sixth sentence for today. Sixth. Please avoid the disc. Please avoid the disc. And it's going to have to be one of these, obviously. So the only words that remain are scratch, visit, or deliver. Please avoid delivering the disc. Please avoid visiting the disc, or please avoid scratching or to scratch the disc. Which one do you think it is? Let me know. Put your answer in the comments so I know. Okay, looking wonderful, looking wonderful. Please avoid scratching. So we take the scratch and we add ing onto the end. Scratching. Please avoid scratching the disc. So this could be like a disc as in a computer disc, but that's kind of old-fashioned. That's kind of, we don't really do that anymore. It's pretty much like drives, USBs, that sort of thing. But it might be a big disc on a piece of equipment in an engineering or an engineering department or a production plant or something like that. So scratching. Okay, our 7th sentence. The firm refuse without payment in advance. The firm refuse without payment in advance. Now, if you don't know what payment in advance is, this is quite a normal term, or terms of trade, or terms of invoicing when you're doing business transactions. So payment in advance is that you pay for something before you either get the product, gave you a little clue there, or before the product is shipped or something like that. So, but it's not the only terms. Quite often it will be 30 days TTC, which is 30 days after invoice. So a company could send out an item or send out a product, and then you send the invoice, and then 30 days after the invoice has been received, you are expected to make payment, if not before, I will add, if not before. But for this sentence, the firm refuse without payment in advance, and it is to deliver. The firm refuse to deliver without payment in advance. Okay, there's a full sentence there. And as always, if you have any questions about any of this, or you actually want to try making up your own sentence using these words, trying it out with either a to or using it as the verb and the ing, then have a go. And I will have a look through the comments and I will correct them, or I might give you a little happy face and yeah, a cheer, or I might even give you a could be good. Anyway, we've got one more left to go. Let's see. Okay, this should be quite easy to complete, because by the process of elimination, we have eliminated, so taken off or taken away or struck out, some great ones there, lots of the words. So the only word that it exists or is left over is visit. Visit. We want our customers, but what goes in here? Is it to visit or is it visiting? We want our customers visiting our website for further information. We want our customers our website for further information. Let me know which one you think it is. I'm looking in the comments. Okay, we want our customers to visit our website for further information. We want our customers to visit our website for further information. Excellent, well done. I hope that was some brilliant practice for you, as well as obviously understanding how we construct the correct word and verb to go into sentences given the surrounding words and structure of the sentence, which is important. This is also giving you the opportunity to practice your pronunciation, because you can hear how I'm producing words and you can hear my tonality as I'm saying entire sentences. So try to speak more like a native speaker, like myself, like a native English teacher even, and get that fluidity going without lots of stopping and starting. So we want our customers to visit our website for further information. Listen to the peaks, the ups and the downs when I'm speaking. Okay, now before you go, I want to tell you about something great coming up. So if you go over to our Facebook page, just go to Facebook and look for Engli-teach, you will see right at the top of the page, join the class, which is this. You can come along and pay quite a small amount, I think it's $2.99, to join in a group class, a live group class, not like this, but actually in a virtual classroom with me and some of my other teachers. So you can actually practice speaking English. It's brilliant watching and reading and writing in English, but to get really good at English, to get really native English fluidity and accents, you need to practice. Ideally with English natives like myself. I'm actually a teacher too, qualified, so it helps too. Now it's great, we're just doing these on a Sunday at the moment, so we have different slots on a Sunday. Because obviously we do lots of one-to-ones, we have lots of private clients, we work with lots of different companies, preparing them for all sorts, and we also do lots of other lessons, whether it be children or adults or what have you. So this is an opportunity if you want to practice your English, but you don't want to spend too much money, or you don't want to pay for a one-to-one private lesson, then this is obviously the opportunity for you to practice. There are only 10 adults in a class, no more, and this month we're working all on phone English, telephone English. Telephone English is vital to any job and really any form of communication today, because we all work on our phones, we all communicate on our phones, you book things through your phone, you do lots of things on your phone. So we have an entire series of lessons which are also in our program at Engli-teach.com, but we're kicking it off with actual virtual group classes. So if that's something that you would like to do, then come along. I would be so pleased to meet you. I'm going to put all the sentences now back up on the board just for you to have a look at them all together, and thank you so much. Have a great day everybody, goodbye.